You're listening to the Human Music Podcast. Woo!
How many friends or acquaintances do you know that wanted to be a producer or dabbled with it and never got to the point where they made something that's like the quality that Tesko was just talking about? So many, because it's really fucking hard to have enough of an ego death to go through the fucking enormous amount of hard work that it takes to really get to something that's that quality without all the intermediary steps of like having people point out what's wrong with it for 5 years straight.
Man,
Like how strong-willed do you have to be okay with that and like work through it? And I mean, like, there's all different types. There's the person that actually is such a boss that they sit in their bedroom for 5 years and work on music and show no one, and then finally come out with it and they're like, I have arrived. This is tight.
right.
That person is so fucking rare. Like most people are going to go through that struggle that you were just talking about, where like you show your friends and your friends are like, dude, sick. Like, you made this? Oh, cool. You make music. You're great. And then they turn around to their other buddy and they're like, man, that was terrible. Like,
Why did we have to sit through that?
happened to like everyone that's like trying to get good at something. And like the Dunning-Kruger effect, like that we talked about last episode, like that really contributes to that.
Can you
But
explain that?
okay, so the Dunning-Kruger effect, we talked about this, right?
Probably, but re-explain it for me.
Okay, so
And for anybody that didn't listen to the last episode.
Which you should check out.
you have a graph. On the x-axis is time, and on the y-axis is confidence in material. And as you start to learn a subject, your confidence is increasing at such a rate that you're basically, you imagine the trajectory of your learning of that new subject as like fucking skyrocketing into the stars, and you're going to be the next prodigy at this thing because you're learning so much so quickly, and you've gone from nothing to something that is a thing that you're like, holy fuck, I'm going to be really fucking good at this. And my shit now is already really good because you actually don't know all the things wrong with it yet. And so this point at which you're so confident in your and you're like 6 months in that you like tell the world how cool your music is, and you're sure that you're going to get a record deal with Columbia and you're going to be well on your way to fame and fortune in no time. And then you finally hit this point at which you realize, oh, fuck, there is so much that I don't know. And then you start to gain a little bit less confidence and a little bit less confidence and a little bit less confidence as you realize all the shit that you don't know, which is way more than you could have ever dreamed of when you started. And you basically go up and then you go back down in a big U until like 5 years later, your confidence in the subject material reaches the same point at which you were 6 months in, except now you actually know all your shit. Most people get down here and quit. Most people get down here and realize, fuck, this is hard. I don't think that I'm ever going to be good enough, and it's going to take too long. And that's why all your friends that said that they're super interested in doing this and came over and you taught them Ableton one night, and they're like, yeah, you know, I guess I haven't had time to work on it or whatever. It's like the point at which you realize, fuck, this is going to be way harder than I thought. Like, most people quit. And so
Thankfully, that's also when they stop tagging 99 people in Facebook posts about their new bad song.
Ooh, true. You're still tagging 99 people on Facebook about your bad song.
You know what though? It is like cute. It's like admirable and cute when I see that though, because like I miss kind of being in that phase, you know, like when I see a producer and they're all excited, like, listen to my 3 demos, and I know they're gonna be horrible, Like, no offense to them, obviously, but it's just like, I remember being there, like that innocence of like starting and thinking everybody wants to hear your song, when in reality, in the cold world, nobody is excited to see your SoundCloud link. Like, to me, like from a admiring perspective, it doesn't bother me getting sent SoundCloud links, but it's just like cute to me. Like, oh, you haven't been crushed enough times to know that people hate this shit.
Oh, yeah, that is the sad truth. It really is.
Yeah.
As you look at that person and you're like almost envious of the blissful ignorance that they have, because it's just so much easier to be in that position than to really know.
And the high from, sorry, not to cut you off. I was going to say the high from that is the equivalent of like your first time, like hitting a bong, like you're high off the fact that you just made the sickest thing. Now is like the equivalent of like scraping resin out of a pipe. And you're like, I feel something. Yes.
Oh, I know what it is. I feel dirty for scraping resin out of this pipe and smoking it.
So like nowadays, I'm sure all of us sit down and write something that we're like, yeah, this is pretty good. That back then, if we heard this pretty good thing that we just made, we'd be like, oh, fuck.
Right.
I'm Skrillex. Yes. Like,
yeah, man.
the high that we would have gotten from making this thing 4 or 5 years ago would have been so good.
Did you see that copy pasta that was going on like a while back, maybe like last year or something, and this one dude was like, I've come to realize Skrillex isn't even that special. I started producing 6 months ago, and look at where I am now. There has never been a prodigy like me. Just give me a year's time. I will be the next, like, whatever. And then people were like, replied to that. Like, everybody was just copy pasting like his thing, like everywhere on the internet. And it became this thing. And I think it's like that peak of the Dunning-Kruger effect where you're like,
that
Skrillex ain't shit.
Exact point. He is literally, is his name Dunning-Kruger? It should.
It's funny because like, give it a year's time, I'll be better. It's like, yeah, you're going to be right in the fucking trenches of that curve, buddy.
You're going to be in the bottom of the trench yet, dude. You're going to be and it is not going to be funny.
I think that post is jumping off the springboard down into that.
Yeah, it's like, not descending, it's jumping.
No,
Let me dive head first.
Cannonball.
Into the concrete.
Well, this has been the Human Music Podcast. Enjoy your dive into the depths of despair. I like it. Boop, boop. Splat.
Splat.
For those of you who pick yourselves up off of rock bottom and keep learning how to produce music, yeah, there's definitely a future in it for you.
We have a thing for you. It's called the Producer Dojo. And make that curve, although you're still going to have an ego death to get better. That curve, that time period, that big U that took me fucking 6 years and you guys probably just about the same. I'm pretty fucking confident I can make that like 2 or 3. It's still going to take a long time. You're still going to fucking have to work really hard. But, oh man, there are so many things I can show you that will make that shorter.
Human Music Podcast. I like it.